Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for joining me. This is April Winchester with J Bell Creations, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in the US. I am going to try something new to me anyways. I decided that I'm going to do some videos where I case something from the catalog. I don't know if I'll do it like once a month or once a week or what, and I don't know if I'll stick with it. It's just something I thought I would try. I really like some of the projects in the catalog, and I never really cased them though, and decided, hey, I'm gonna give this a shot, and it might be a nice way to make some videos too. So case, if you don't know, means copy and selectively edit, or it could mean copy and share everywhere. So kind of whatever you want it to be, I guess. So here's the Stampin' Up! Catalog for June 2020 to May 2021. I decided that my first thing that I was going to case is here on page 33. I'm going to use the Whiskey Business stamp set. See if I can pull it out here. This is what it looks like. I had not used this prior to this project, and I've been wanting to. Honestly, I don't really drink. My husband doesn't drink, but I just thought this was a cute set though, and I thought this could really go well for some people that I know, and not that women don't drink, but that this just really kind of got me as a man thing, and I need more masculine cards, and this one I think is the best. Being a dad is a whiskey business. But today we're gonna make a birthday card. So here is the stamp set we're going to use, and this is the card that we are going to case. So I'm not sure if you can see that. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. Again, it's on page 33 of the catalog. I am going to change it just slightly, but for the most part it's going to be very similar. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that I decided to do was, I've been working, sorry, yeah, little squirrel, and I don't like to waste my paper, so I like to wait until it's pretty full. Sometimes I will change it beforehand, but if this bothers you, let me know, and I'll change it next time. So I started with the basic gray cardstock as my base. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this in half. I'm going to use my bone folder to give it a good crease. This is my card base, and I'm going to have my card open upward. Then I decided to use some DSP. This is actually a retired DSP. I don't normally use retired stuff. I try not to, but I really liked the look of this, and so I decided to do it. I really like not only the colors, but the texture that you can kind of see. I hope you can see. I don't know, my lighting is pretty bad at night. But so I'm going to use this, and then I'm going to have a piece of Whisper White. It's kind of dirty, don't worry about that. And then I need a scrap of Whisper White. So I also need another scrap of Whisper White. This is 3/4 of an inch. And then out of Night of Navy, I cut a label from the Tasteful Label dies. And we're going to set those aside, and we'll get to those at some point. So I'm going to set this aside for now. And I'm going to start with this. I'm going to use my Memento black ink. You could use whatever you want. If you're gonna, we're gonna color. If you're gonna color with Stampin' Blends or an alcohol based marker, you will want to use Memento. I'm not going to use alcohol markers, although honestly I would prefer to. But the reason why I'm not is because I didn't have the colors that I wanted to use. And to be quite honest, I didn't have the colors I wanted to use in watercolor pencils either. So I just did the best I could. I'm still working on getting my stash up and buying all the things that I want and need in order to complete cards the way that I really want to. But in the meantime, I'm just improvising, and I think it works, and it's fine. So you do you. So first I stamped on here this big whiskey bottle, and I stamped it up a little bit because I want a little bit of space down here for some grounding. Then I'm not going to stamp this on camera, but I did go ahead already and stamped 2 of the glasses. As you could probably see, just a reminder, in the catalog they have the 2 little glasses. I went ahead and colored one already, and the reason why I said that this didn't matter if it was dirty is because I just wanted to show you where I was stamping the bottle, but I actually already stamped the bottle and colored it. I didn't want to do a ton of coloring on the video. It takes up a lot of time, and you don't really need to see me color. I am not good at coloring. I'm still learning. I'm not really good at blending, but it is what it is, and I like what I've done. So I'm just going to color this one so you can kind of see. What I have done is I'm using my watercolor pencils. I have Daffodil Delight, and I'm just giving a light shading over these ice cubes, but not in this part of the ice cube because that's not where the alcohol is. And you don't even have to make these alcohol. You can make it a glass of water, you can make it a glass of root beer, whatever you want to do. So I'm doing a shading of this over it and not going completely out to the sides. Then I'm going to take my pumpkin pie watercolor pencil, and I'm going to do kind of the edges where you see the kind of shaded parts of the edges here in my pumpkin pie. And then a real tiny light layer over the whole thing. Then I'm going to take my blender pen for blending water-based inks. This, instead of using a water brush or a brush with water, I'm going to use this, and I will just blend out the colors a little bit and mix them together. Again, I am not the best at coloring, but it is what it is. Now I'm just gonna add a little bit more orange here. Actually, I think I might have added a little too much, but that's all right. We're just gonna go with it. And I'm just pulling that color inward. There. Now I'm going to take my Pacific Point, and I'm going to give some color to the shaded areas of the glass and the top of that ice cube. And I really only need it in the shaded areas because I don't want it to be super dark when I blend it out. Now I've already used this on the other colors, so I like to kind of try to wipe it off. I could use the other end if I wanted to, but and now I'm just going to kind of act like I'm coloring this so I can kind of blend that blue out a little bit. And I'm going to give a tiny bit more color in here. Whoops, that might have been a little too much. Nope, that's not too bad at all. All right, so I have completed that. So I've completed the stamping of the bottle on my panel that's going to go on the card and my 2 glasses, and I've colored them. I'm now going to cut, to do some fussy cutting. I'm just going to cut these 2 glasses out. They're real easy, real basic, so it's fairly quick. I'm going to go fairly close to the edge of the glasses, but not so close that I cut on the actual stamped image. So just give me a moment here. I apologize. So I didn't really want to fussy cut these out ahead of time because I wanted to show you at least the coloring of at least one of them. I don't know if you heard that noise a second ago, but my husband snuck in and snuck out. All right, so there is one glass. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fussy cut out this second glass. Again, going pretty close to the edge of the glass, but not so close that I'm on the stamped image. Now, sometimes when I fussy cut, I like to leave even more of a white border, but I decided after trying this once already that I really liked the closer cut on these. So that is done. Oh, I don't want it to be too pointy there. So there's my two glasses. Now, what I'm going to do is put a little bit of what I call grounding underneath this bottle. And I'm going to use my basic gray watercolor pencil and just give it a good color under here. And then again, I'm going to take my blender pen and just kind of blend it out a little bit. It's a little smoother when you do that. And I'm not sure if you can see that well, but it just gives it a nice little like shadow or grounding to that. So it doesn't look like it's floating in the air necessarily. I'm then going to use my Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to adhere one of the glasses. Oh, I want a little bit more right there. I'm going to adhere one of the glasses off to the right hand side on my grounding. And then I'm going to adhere my second one using Stampin' Dimensional. And I'm going to place that on this side, overlapping the bottle and on the grounding. So there's that part of my card. Now I'm going to pull in the other pieces here, and I'm going to adhere this to my card base. And in the picture, you know, most of the time when I adhere a piece of DSP, I do it straight. But in the picture, they have it slightly crooked, and I really liked the way that that looked. So that's what we're gonna do. Those artisans that work for Stampin' Up are amazing, obviously. I would aspire to be one of them, although I don't ever see that happening. I have that in the wrong spot. The only part about putting it crooked is I feel like I have a hard time figuring out where it needs to be. But I'm going to call that good. I'm then going to take this panel and I'm going to round the corners of the upper left and the lower right. In the picture, and again, I'm just referring to this in case you don't have a catalog, they have used I think they used the 3-corner punch that has like a little notch. I like that too, but I don't have that one. So I decided to do it a little differently and to round 2 corners and leave 2 corners as corners. So I'm now going to connect this, adhere this, sorry, to my card. And I'm gonna put this straight, or as straight as I can. Hard to kind of see, because when this is crooked, it kind of was like, ah. All right, there's that. Easy peasy. I'm gonna set that aside for a second, and I'm gonna take my 3/4 inch strip here, and I'm going to take basic gray to match the card base, and I'm going to stamp the sentiment, sending you an old-fashioned birthday card on here. Now this will just fit. Hopefully I can get it on there, because it really is just going to fit. If you're worried about yours fitting, you can always trim it down after. Oh, upside down, but that doesn't matter because magic. All right, so not too bad actually. I got it on and it's not too crooked, so I'm gonna go with it. I'm going to trim off this end to be about the same as the other end. Then I'm going to use my pick. What is this punch? Geez, I thought I knew it and I don't. This is from the Lovely You bundle, and it is the Lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch. This is actually one of the very first things that I saw when the catalog came out, and that I was like, I must have that. So you can make 6 different sizes of 2 different styles of ends. I'm going to use the more flat end here, and I'm going to stick this in all the way. Make sure that it's fairly straight and lined up. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Make sure it's fairly straight and lined up. And there you have it. Might have to go a little bit smaller, but we'll see what happens in just a second here. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on this labeled piece that I have made. Now, originally in my first card, I popped this up, but I've decided this time I'm not going to pop this piece up. I'm going to just adhere it down. And I just need to kind of eyeball it before I push it down. I don't want it to stick just yet. There. Now that I have it down, I'm going to put a little bit adhesive on the back so that I can take, again, another retired item, but you can use whatever you want. I was going to use linen thread, but I decided since I have this on hand and it matches, I was going to use it. So I'm going to just kind of make a little loop on each end, and I use that adhesive to help hold that into place. So make another loop over on this side. That's kind of a big loop. Let's make it a little bit smaller. And it's basically kind of like a bow behind it, but I think it looks a little more masculine this way than actually tying a bow. So I'm just going to make sure that those are kind of stuck a little bit better into the middle there. All right, now I'm going to add, whoops, I didn't mean to pull that off. I'm going to add a couple of Stampin' Dimensionals. It's actually like a little, sorry, but loops just didn't look right to me. So, all right, I think that looks better. All right, so I'm gonna add some Stampin' Dimensionals. right here. And I will then place this on my card. And I want it to be down a little bit because I would like a little bit of that white to show above it. And actually, I should have made my bow facing the other way, and I kind of, well, if you want to call it a bow. Oh, look at that. I can do it. Yeah. All right. Let's see if it will stick if I do it that way, though. Hopefully. That will stick under there. There. All right. So, that is my finished card. Actually, I would put a white piece in here too, and you could even stamp like one of the glasses. Let me do that real quick. I'm gonna cut myself a piece of Whisper White. I didn't do this ahead of time because I didn't really think of it, but here we go. A piece of the Whisper White at 4 5 1/4. And then I'm going to take the basic gray ink and the little glass, and I'm just going to stamp one glass right there, and I'm going to leave it. I'm not going to color it or anything. If you wanted to color it, you certainly could. And we'll go ahead and adhere this to the inside of my card. And if you want to put another sentiment or something inside your card, you could do that as well. And that's my card. My card is complete. It is very, very similar to the card in the catalog. They used some different colors and different DSP. They notched their corners a little bit differently. The coloring is about 5,000 times better than mine, but it's still basically the same with a few different touches. And you can make lots of different changes on your card. You don't even have to copy it. You can just get inspired by it and move to something different. That's one of the great things about using other people's work and people allowing you to case their stuff. You can get inspired by it, or sometimes you make the exact same card because you love it so much. I find that when I do that, I'm then inspired. Once I've made the card, I'm then inspired to make something else. So that is my card for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please like my video, comment, and even share. Check the description. I will post links to the items that I used. I will also post information on where you can find me on social media, which would be Instagram, Facebook, and my blog, and also a link to my online store. I would appreciate any business that you gave me. It would help me and my family greatly. And also would just love if you would comment or like my video. That would really help me too. I'm still pretty new at the video making business, but not necessarily at the card making business. But I do love making cards, and I love Stampin' Up. Let me share that with you. Have a great night.